Despite the warm weather, the city of Urbana is already planning for cold weather and the people who might have to sleep outside in it. Officials have doubled the money they're recommending the city give to the CU Emergency Men's Shelter this winter. It went from $14,000 to $30,000. WCIA3's Bailey Bryant live outside the shelter. Now, Bailey, I know this isn't a done deal yet, but how would it help the shelter?
The mayor says she hopes that it would help the shelter stay open longer. This money would come from a fund that the city has set aside for nonprofits. Like you said, not a done deal yet. They'll probably vote on the recommendation next month. In the meantime, people who operate the shelter say the money would be put to good use. As hot as it is now, Corey Blackwell says it seemed like winter would never end.
We closed April 1st this year, and it snowed the next day.
Blackwell is a local pastor and administrator at CU Men's Shelter. This past winter, the shelter averaged 38 men a night at its new Covenant Fellowship location. That's up nearly double from the year before when the shelter was in different places, different nights of the week.
We expect that this coming winter the demand on the shelter and that need will continue to increase.
Blackwell was excited to learn the shelter could be getting extra money from the city of Urbana.
They have a heart for people in the city who are struggling with poverty and homelessness, and they see that we're trying to fulfill a need here, and they want to do anything that they can to make that happen.
Blackwell says the shelter needs about $19,000 a month to operate. Most of that goes towards staffing and space, which they didn't have enough of last winter. He says he's glad officials see the need in the community, and he hopes it leads to a more permanent solution.
We are not in the shelter business. This collection, this shelter that's become a nonprofit has been formed because we saw a need in the community that needed to be met. It's not because we wanted to have a long-term shelter.
Officials with CU at Home say they've been working with CU Men's Shelter to come up with that more permanent solution. Their ultimate goal is to open a 365-day-a-year emergency shelter to serve the homeless community here in Champaign. That's something we haven't seen in the area for about 20 years. Live in Champaign, Bailey Bryant, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Okay, Bailey, thank you so much. Now, for this story, we also reached out to the city of Champaign. Officials say they haven't talked about shelter funding yet. Last year, they gave the CU Men's Shelter $18,000. Officials say they plan to be supportive again this winter.